Okay. You guys keep complaining that you want me to review my Voltrove Mini V2. So let's go ahead and go down. I'm going to do a build for you, show you all about it. We'll talk about it, then we're going to come back up and we're going to vape on it. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Voltrove 30mm RTA. This is considered the Mini. It is the smaller version to the original 41mm. This is the V2. This is the packaging that it comes in. It does have warnings on it. Very, very simple packaging. And then you slide this out. It comes out like this. And then inside, you're gonna get your RTA, your Voltrove Mini 30mm, an extra spare glass, and then an extra small spare glass. And you take out the RTA. And then this is, with this glass, which is the same as this one, it will hold up to 11 mils of e-liquid. With the shorty glass, this one here, it'll hold 8 mils of e-liquid. So I'm gonna show you what else comes in the box. So go ahead and take this out, and inside you're gonna get some extras. Inside here, you're gonna get some O-rings, some grub screws, and then this, an Allen key, and then this piece here. This piece here is actually for you to make it to the shorty. Oops, there goes an O-ring. Don't want to lose that. This will make it the shorty, so it'll actually reduce the chamber so that you can put on the shorter glass. So you don't want to lose this. You don't want to lose anything. So just keep all your little extras right there in the baggie. So basically, that's what comes in the package. There's no user manual or anything like that. So I'm going to show you how to use it, how to wick it, how to build it. And then we've got the RTA. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I love big RTAs. So when I was contacted by Mark from Voltrove, and he said, well, I know that you've got some big ones. What about this one? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. So on top, you're gonna have an 810 drip tip, and it's gonna say Voltrove on both sides. This is removable, and it does fit any 810 drip tip that you have. I've actually been changing it out because this one is not my favorite, but you know, to those, you might like it. It does have a top fill, so you can actually fill it like this. And then it's got two huge juice fill holes right there. You never want to put it down the middle, just down the ends. Over here, you're going to have an O-ring. You're going to have an O-ring there and an O-ring there. I mean, you're basically O-ringed up, so you should not have any leaking when filling. I have not, but then again, you have to be careful on your wicking, which I'll explain. On the bottom, it's going to say Voltrove. It's going to give you your serial number, and there is a protruding 510. You also have airflow adjustments here. You can have all these, it's like a gate type of airflow, or you can cut it down and have it just a little bit, depending on what you want. So that is awesome. Over here, if you notice these little notches right there, that is to lock and unlock your juice flow. So if this little dot right here is here, it's actually going to be locked. So you would just move this piece here, not the whole bottom, just this piece. Well, can't do it. There you go. Nope. I have it too loose. Let me tighten that up. There we go. Now if you move it, you can move it to the dot, and then the juice flow is locked. There we go. It's a lot easier on a mod, trust me. And excuse the little water droplets. I did clean this out because I've been using it, which is the whole reason why I haven't been able to review it before now. So I finally was down to my little bit of juice and said, okay, fine, we'll go ahead and do this. So to get to the deck, you're going to unscrew the base. You unscrew the base, this is how it's going to look. Of course, it's not going to look as wet as this when you're doing it, especially if you get it new. Excuse the water droplets. And that's the base. You always want to make sure that this O-ring is there. If that O-ring is missing, you might get some leaking. So always make sure that you do have the O-ring so that it'll seal it up properly. That to me is a big, big thing that I wanted to definitely tell you. If you notice here, there's a notch here and a notch here. They fit right into the deck. So you have to make sure that it is perfectly in there. If you do not, you will get leaking and this won't screw down tight. To remove the deck, you just wiggle it around and pull it out. I will tell you though that these O-rings are a little bit really tight. So I do lube them up just to make sure that I'm not going to break any O-rings and things like that. These little holes right here actually send juice down to this part here, which is what actually will be wetting your wicks. So it works very similar to the Mod Father, the aromamizers, and things like that. You do have a dome shape on the inside, which I do like a lot. And if you notice, the airflow right there is a little bit tall. So when you put your coils in, you're gonna raise them up just a little bit so that, which you've got room, just a little bit so that the airflow can hit the bottom of your coils, which I'll show you. So yeah, so that's that. And that's the base. And then we're gonna go ahead and build on this baby here. This is a Velocity style build deck. Oops, sorry. Get that in there. Tighten that down. It is a Velocity style build deck, so you do have the 4 holes there. And again, you can see the notches right here. Now, if you notice, these are really, really open. Whereas the Modfather, if I'm not mistaken, had like slits or holes or something, but this is actually really, really open. Your main goal to wick this is to make sure that those are covered. You don't want to overstuff it, but you don't want to minimize your cotton as well. This is one of those that the more generous you are, the more generous this RTA is going to be. So it is finicky in that sense. If you don't have it covering the holes, you will get some leaking. Now, the good thing is that being that it does have juice flow control, you can cut that down so that there's not too much juice coming at it at one, you know, too much at one time. So that's good also. Now, these are Allen keys, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen up these screws. Let's go ahead and turn that one. Oops, let me get the one that fits it. Does that one fit it? No. Okay, it's this one. There we go. All right, and then just go ahead and open those up. Now, the best coils are gonna be like your 3.5 inner millimeter diameter or 4 millimeters are usually the best. Now, Mark actually sent me a couple of his 4 millimeter coils to try. So I've actually been using my Coil Clout coils in here, but I'm gonna go ahead and use his since this is about his RTA. So we're gonna go ahead and use some fused Claptons from Mark. I'm just gonna take these out. These are 4 millimeter inner diameter. So they're really, really big. Really big, so that way you can put a lot of cotton. So what you want to do whenever you have a Velocity style deck, I know it's been a while since we've actually talked Velocity, is you want to put one leg on the bottom and one leg on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. One leg here, put it in there. And then I'm just going to hold it still and screw that in. And then screw in the other side. There we go. There's one, and there's 2. Okay, and then you want to go ahead and clip your leads. And then I'll straighten up the coil afterward. And clip this one. Oops. And you want to make sure that they're not falling in the deck. You have to make sure about that, because if not, then you will get a short. So please make sure that you do not have your leads in the deck itself. Okay, got my 2 pieces there. And then you can go ahead and straighten out your coil once it's in there. I'll go ahead and pull it out and pull it up a little bit. There we go. You want to make sure that your coils are not touching metal as well. There we go. I'm going to make sure that's really, really tight. There we go. And here's that one. All right, so let's go ahead and put in the other one. And one on the bottom, one on the top. Slide that in. Got that one in there. Hold that in, screw that down. It's much harder on camera than it is in person, I promise you. There we go. And then go ahead and screw this one in. Move this leg out. Scoot that out. There we go. See, the tools can be used for everything. There we go. And then get the clippers. Make sure that you're not clipping the coil itself. That's very, very important. So I'm just going to lower this down a little bit so I can get to this one. There we go. And then get to this side right here. And move this up a little. Get this out of my way. There we go. It's much better when I don't have to guess if I'm gonna hit it or not. And then take that one out. There we go. Now it's all done. Now let's go ahead and fix the coils. I'm actually gonna raise it up a little bit, make sure that it's not touching anything. And they got to be able to fit inside the chamber as well. So you just definitely want to make sure about that. Let's do that. Go. Okay, that should be nice and snug. So we're going to go ahead and start heating up the coils. Start gluing the coils. Get my tweezers. And start strumming them. Get a piece of cotton off of there. Well, screw that down a little bit tighter. You do not burn yourself. Okay, start heating those up. And pinching and pulling and prodding and burning. Go. Okay, almost there. Get those hot spots out. Okay, so they're heating up nicely. Let me go ahead and get some cotton and we'll go ahead. And for today's cotton, we're going to be using my Kendo Vape Cotton Gold Edition. I did cut off a piece and we're going to be really, really generous with this because we want to make sure that this is not going to leak at all. And it honestly, it's a lot easier than the Mod Father, but it's very similar in the way that you would wick the Mod Father. So let's go ahead and put this through and pull it. Again, you want to be very, very generous. This is a 4mm coil, so I can fit a lot of cotton in there. Put that through, pull it back. All right, and then do the other side. Big ass coils. Do the same thing on this side. Put it through, and twist it through. There we go. All right, now comes the part where you want to be careful. Like usually I fluff my cotton out. I'm not going to be fluffing these out, and I'm going to actually cut it right at the base of the deck. So right there. I'm just going to do all the same. And then do this side. And this side. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is, as I'm placing the cotton in, I'm going to make sure that it's covering up these holes. It's very, very important that you cover up those holes. So there we go. And make sure that you're leaving air as well. Put that over there. This over here. Just make sure, see? And then you've got your airflow still. Do the same thing on this side. Make sure that that's really, really covered. This one looks just a tad bit too long. When you've been doing this for a while, kind of can see it. Go right over the holes. So literally the holes are completely covered, if you can tell, but the airflow is open. So I'm still gonna get really, really good airflow. Now this Voltrove does work best at higher wattages, because of the fact that it holds such big coils and things like that, and the way that it's been built. It's actually for that vapor that really likes to have high wattage and big clouds, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and start juicing this up. For today's juice, I'm gonna actually be using this strawberry latte, and this is by Rollin' Vapors, which is one of my favorite juices, especially for the custard, and they have another one, I forget the name of it, that I use all the time. I tried the strawberry latte and I'm loving it. So yeah, I've never had a strawberry latte before this one, so I was really, really excited to get it. Let's go ahead and turn this up. Ooh, there we go. And as usual, I am going to be wetting the coils to make sure that the cotton is getting saturated from within the coils, because that's my way, and that way I never get a dry hit. It's actually going to start doing the work for me. Go. Now for me, it's not a thing, you know, or not a problem that I have to take off the deck and put it in the bottom of the RTA, because I've been doing the same thing for over 1.5 years and it does not bother me. So I'm just wetting this up, making sure that my airflow is still open as this is getting wet. There we go. I need to get some bigger coils from Coil Clout. So I still only have my 3mm. I had 3.5 and I used them. So, oops. Oops. My bad. There we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is just let this cool down for a second so I can take this off, and I'm gonna put it in. So I am kind of impatient, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Again, watch the notches. The notches are really, 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 really important to do. So I'm gonna make sure that I line that up and push them in. I'm gonna make sure, you see the notches right there? Make sure that those notches are lined up. Told you these O-rings are a little bit tricky. Let's try it again. You gotta get it straight on. Oops. Gotta be like a gymnast. There we go. And line it up. Notches right there. Oh, see, it's a little bit crooked. You have to make sure that they're really, really straight on. If you don't, it's not gonna close right. Just get that out. Oops. Line that up again. Push it down. There we go. Put that side in. There. See how flat it is? There's absolutely none there. And yet all my holes are covered. Okay, so let's go ahead and put on the base. For me, I'm gonna lock it. You guys can take a chance, but I'm not. Lock that. Close off my airflow. Okay, put that back on my mod. I love these big tanks. I really, really do. They do not bother me one bit. And then unscrew the top. And let's fill this baby up. Again, this does hold 11 mil, 10 to 11 mil of e-liquid in the tall and 7 to 8 mils in the short. Put the top back on. Open up the juice flow. There we go. Open up the airflow. You see the bubbles? Here come the bubbles. That shows you that it's wicking right. So let's go ahead and go on top and we'll talk more about it. Okay, so here we are back on top. Yes, I've already been vaping it. Back on top with the Voltrove Mini V2 30mm RTA. And this can be found at voltrove.com. VOLTROVE.com. I had a brain fart for a second. So yeah, so this is it. 30mm. Let's go ahead and have a vape so you can see what it can do. Right now, I only have it at 115 watts, and then I'll turn it up a little bit. There we go. If you like clouds and you like flavor, you're gonna like this. I'm gonna bump it up now to, let's go to 130. 130 watts. Let's do it. Even at 130 watts, it's not a hot vape. It's really, really cool. It even shines when you go higher and higher. Personally, I don't vape that high, except for with this. With this, I do vape that high, only because, well, it shines at 130, 115. So, and even higher. Now, the airflow, it has massive, massive airflow with it wide open. There's wide open. I personally cut it down to about like this, but you can go ahead and adjust it with this other one that cuts it down. But this to me is a little bit too down. Not enough airflow. So I like it with the 3. That's just my preferred. Okay, so Velocity style deck. Yes, it's an old style deck. But for those of you that don't like the postless and things like that, and you do like the Velocity style, you're gonna love this. Very, very easy to wick. Very, very easy to build on. Again, you do want the bigger coils. That way you can put more cotton in there, because you do need the, and if you notice, it's not leaking. It's not leaking, not leaking. So, yeah, so it's much easier, in my opinion, than the Mod Father. The Mod Father, I absolutely hated. This, I absolutely love. It is big, it's beautiful, it's there. The only gripe that I have, and I'm going to tell you, is that to get those little notches in can be a little bit difficult or tricky, but I mean, once you've done it a few times, you're going to be fine. The drip tip, I'm not a fan of this drip tip. I don't like nipple drip tips. I'm just not a nipple girl when it comes to drip tips. So I am going to go ahead and swap that out because I don't like this drip tip. And I don't have my little cushiony thing. Let's get that off. There we go. And I'm going to put on a different drip tip because, well, that's just me. I like to be colorful. So there we go. Another 810 drip tip all on there. And yeah, let's have a vape. Clouds, flavor, raise up your coils just a little bit. Usually in a Velocity style deck, you kind of like have it even to the post holes, but I do raise it up just a little bit because it does give a lot better flavor the closer that it is to the airflow. The only thing is I wish that it was more of, I personally like postless decks. That's just me. I'm a fan of postless decks. That's just my, thing is postless. But for a Velocity style big ass tank like this, I like it. It gives me everything that I need. It's very, very easy to fill. Top fill, you saw that, no problem. Just make sure that you close off your juice flow and your airflow. That way it'll keep it from leaking. There is absolutely no leaking if you make sure that those holes are covered. You just want to make sure they're covered. You don't have to like stuff them in the holes. Don't do that. Do not stuff them through the holes. Just lay it right on top. That way it's going to wick efficiently for you. Good news on this. They were going for $80. Yes, $80 for the Voltrove. Yes, the V2 Mini was $80. Right now they have a sale at Voltrove.com for $60. That is unheard of. Like, this is like a wanted tank, and for $80 it was worth it. For $60 it's definitely worth it. It runs up there with the other bigger tanks anyway, the same cost. And if you use Wendy Vapes, all caps, Wendy Vapes 20, you get 20% off. So yeah, so why wouldn't you want it? Why? If you like big tanks, you gotta have it. You just have to. So it just goes along with all my other ones. I do cloud comps and stuff like this. Things like this are, even though it's an RTA, I like doing cloud comps. I usually can get almost to first place with these type of tanks. I really like them. They have a lot of clouds, and this one has tremendous, tremendous flavor. I know exactly what this juice tastes like. It's my second bottle, so I definitely know. And it's just amazing. I love the fact that you can change off your 810 drip tips. I do love that. The only thing that I said was, you know, those notches can be a little bit tricky. That's the only real issue that I have with this. Otherwise, I think that it comes with the great options. You can make the shorty glass if you want it. I prefer the bigger glasses. That's just my preference. But yeah, so you guys wanted the review. You've got the review. I'm loving it. Thank you again for sending my way, Mark. And yeah, if you're interested, Voltrove.com. Again, I can't leave the link down below, but please go ahead and use Voltrove.com. Wendy Vapes 20 will get you 20% off, and it's on sale. And it comes in 4 colors: stainless steel, black. Stainless steel, black, gold, and gunmetal. So I personally like stainless steel, so that's just me. But a lot of people like the gunmetal and stuff, which is really, really nice. And oh my God, 130 watts, and it's flavor for days. I'm telling you right now. So yeah, so if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification, because that way you're notified anytime that I do another review or an upload. And this weekend, I'm supposed to be heading to the Miami Expo, and I'm going to be there with your girl, Sophie. So check us out over there. We're going to be trying to do some vlogs and things like that. So I will see you in the next one.